welcome to the Astro Forecast for the week of January 23rd to the 29th. We are coming up to the end of January already. The three planets that were in retrograde, the last three planets, Mars, Mercury, and Uranus, have now started to move direct. But hold up. They're still not truly in forward momentum just yet this week. So Mars went direct on January 12th, but sitting on that 8th degree of Gemini till the 24th of this week, so till Tuesday, then starts to pick up speed slowly, but won't really be in like forward momentum until about February. Mercury went direct on the 18th and is starting to pick up speed more so this week. So we start to feel like things are starting to move forward. And then Uranus, he's a slowpoke. He's going to be sitting on that same degree for a little bit and won't start to pick up speed until about April. But April is when Mercury starts to go direct again. So we have this time now of forward momentum, literally kind of at the end of this week to April. We are going to have all the planets in forward momentum. And really those personal planets, which really make things happen for us, starts to move fast. We're going to feel like things are really picking up speed. We want to get going. I'm feeling it within myself. My laryngitis has lightened up and I'm feeling so much better. I have a lot more energy. I'm back at the gym this week. Like it feels like this is my New Year's. I don't know if you're feeling that for you, but I'm feeling that for me. So we start off this week and a first quarter phase. The moon is gaining in light. We just came off of that brilliant, powerful super new moon in Aquarius. And we're starting off the week with this moon in Pisces. Now, moon moves very fast. It only moves sort of 2.5 days through each sign of the zodiac. But this Pisces moon is adding some water into the astrology. I mean, right now we have Neptune in water sign, but we have 4 planets starting out this week with 4 planets in air and 4 planets in fixed signs. That's a lot of like up in the head, thinking, always ruminating on things, right? So this week, the planets are starting to again shift not only in forward momentum, but we also have Venus changing signs. But we'll talk about that in a moment. Tuesday, January 24th, we have the sun sextile to Jupiter. Now, sun is in Aquarius still, and Jupiter is in Aries. Now, Jupiter in Aries is like, let's get going. We have optimism. We're bold. We're passionate. We want to move forward, and we feel like we can do anything, right? And the sun in Aquarius is like, oh, I've got all these plans. I want to help humanity. I want to be of service and really elevate this world. And I got plans. I got things to do, right? Genius plans. And these two planets working together, sextile, 60 degrees. This is now a time of delicious forward momentum. This is a time when your dreams are taking flight, when we are starting to take action, bold, courageous action, and we are using our genius plans into the world. Now is the time. This is your green light. Let's get going on your soul purpose, on your mission. What did you come here to do? What was your resolution for this year? My resolution for this year is doing it differently. And every time something happens, I'm like, I'm doing things differently, y'all. Doing things differently. And let me tell you, it's been like wonderful. like, okay, what could I do this week? What could I do today that's different than what I normally do? Honestly, it's just been wonderful because it is something that is very uncomfortable, let me tell you, because I'm doing things that I don't normally do or asking for support in ways I don't normally ask for support, or I'm just kind of thinking of things outside my usual realm of how I do things. So it's like, it's pretty cool, but I also have the nervous system to allow for that. Like, okay, I'm going to do it. And I do it. And then afterwards, I'm like, oh, that's not bad. It's not so bad. So it's actually kind of getting me ready for something that's going to be happening next year. I know it. So I'm hoping that something that's happening for you too, because this is a time of expansion. And of course, we don't do anything expansion wise if we're not comfortable, if we're not safe. But safety doesn't lie in the unknown. Safety lies in the known, right? So I really want you to be like taking those deep breaths, calming your nervous system, and okay, we got this. There's nothing that's really to be fearful in this. We're going to try something different this time. Take a new route to work. Brush your teeth with your left hand. Do something that you would completely be out of the ordinary. Like I normally have red nail polish. I'm going with the black nail polish this year. I also just got my hair done and I went darker and dark red highlights and I went a little shorter. And I'm just like, okay. I'm excited because when you start to become expansion oriented, you are now building yourself to the next level of your life, right? This is what this sun sextile to Jupiter energy is about. Optimism, good luck, happiness, excitement, moves, reaching your goals, starting new projects, growth and expansion, expanded horizon, generosity, being hospitable, and being in groups and group actions, moving forward as a group, moving forward as a collective. This is beautiful, bold energy. Now, on this day as well, we have a very brief, but it's still an aspect, the sun square to Mars. So there can be an element of feeling uncomfortable with forward momentum, feeling like this feels weird to me, feeling maybe a little frustrated or a little scared. Mars is our momentum, our energy, our passion, our drive, and it's in Gemini, right? And he's still trying to figure his way forward, right? He's not fully in forward momentum just yet, but he's starting to gain speed. He's starting to, okay, it's time to move forward. So there could be a bit of a little scared on this day. It's okay. It's okay. Take bold, inspired action. Take a deep breath. Go with your intuition and fly. All right. The next major aspect, actually, I did have a little note here for Wednesday, January 25th. There's no real, that sun sextile to Jupiter is still an aspect for this day, but it's be careful not to overdo it. We have the sun in Aries in the morning, moon sextile to the sun. Did I say moon in Aries, moon sextile to the sun, moon conjunct Jupiter, moon conjunct Neptune, and eventually moon sextile to Pluto. So this is like an aspect of this day where we feel like we can do anything. We're going to go hard and we're going to go until it hurts. And so I'm just going to say, be careful, don't overdo it, right? There's lots of optimism, but also be very aware of your body, of your energy, of your somatics. And you might be even committing to things now that later down the road, you're like, why did I do that? I don't know. So just be kind of conservative in your optimism, as it were. Really follow any plans that you've sort of been kind of on your heart or been thinking about for the last 3 weeks. It's the time now, right? Go ahead, forward momentum with that. But just be aware that whatever you're committing to, whatever you're putting in motion, you're now going to commit to it. Like you see the forward trajectory, right? So just be a little aware of that. All right. Thursday, January 26th, we have Venus moving into beautiful, loving, kind, compassionate Pisces. So this is going to add more water energy. But unfortunately, it was in Aquarius, yes. So we're taking away that sort of fixed air information or fixed air energy, not information, energy, and moving into mutable water. So mutable water is a little bit not as stable, but it's bringing us more intuition. It's bringing us more emotion. It's bringing us more heartfelt compassion for each other, because all this air can have us be like, well, why don't you just do the thing? Why are you so stuck in that, in that place? Why are you so emotional? Like, get out of your emotions, right? And that water is bringing that emotions back, going, no. There's intelligence there. There's something there. There's safety there. There's love there. There's intuition there. There's really great intellect in your emotions. Your emotions is one part of your intellect, right? It's not just up here. It's also, there's the emotional part of you. You also have body awareness. You also have intuition. So all of these things are in intellect, but you have to understand them as such, right? If you feel like, oh, emotional people are so whatever, fill in the blank, right? The word I'm looking for is unbalanced, or not trustworthy, or maybe they're not reliable because you don't know what mood they're going to be in. Let that go and understand that emotions bring up information too, right? So this Venus moving into Pisces, not going to be happening till later in the day. And it's also it's very tender, affectionate time, compassion, intuition, caring, creativity, forgiveness, love is all embracing. But watery Venus, as well as we start moving more into Pisces season after Aquarius season, is going to be there's water, mutable water goes everywhere. Think about if you pour it into a jug with rocks, it's going to fill in all the voids, if you will. So there's no boundaries. So when Venus moves into Pisces, there is this wonderful opportunity now for the collective to have more compassion, to have more empathy, to have more forgiveness, right? We can be so rigid with all that fixed air energy that we've been having, like this is the way it's supposed to be, right? We gotta go. And now we're gonna be like, oh, I see. I see why they feel that way. I see why they're going that through all of that stuff. Because when we sit in fixed air, we really run the risk of idealization and moving into like, this is the way it's got to be, dogma, right? Rigidity. And we don't want that. So this Venus coming into Pisces is going to help with that. But the downside can be victimization, becoming reclusive, escapism, aloof, being like too tender, or being so detached from reality that we just want to run away and do those things. There's still enough energy in the other signs that are kind of mitigating this. But as more and more planets move into Pisces, we're going to feel that emotional energy coming in more so. Now, the next major aspect is Sunday, January 29th. And that Sunday, January 29th, we have two aspects that are really lovely. Like, this is a good week, y'all. This is a good week. Energy is moving forward. We're feeling bold, impassioned, courageous. And then we're having all this like intuitive downloads coming now from Venus going into Pisces. And then we now have on Sunday, and it's going to be kind of coming together. So we call it applying, exact, and then separating. So these planets are coming together and then moving apart, coming together and moving apart. So the exacts are on the days that I say, but it is coming together and then it is separating. So all this week, this is going to be in effect, but also a little bit of next, not all this week, but more so a few. So coming into sort of Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, these two aspects are going to be in play. And then next week, they're also going to be in play for the next 2 or 3 days. So this is the Sun trine to Mars. This is a beautiful energy for an energetic passion, motivation, getting things done. Have you had stuff on your to-do list that you just didn't want to do, like take down your tree? Like, I mean, hey, we just took down our tree last weekend, and we decided we wanted to do that because I like the lights of the tree. I had a friend go, "Oh, you're so lazy," and I'm like, you know what, bitch? Excuse me. We decided that. Like, it's not lazy. We wanted to keep it up because we like the lights of the trees. We like the festive season of it. And we weren't ready to give it up yet. Hello, retrograde season, right? And so now that the planets are direct, all of the family went, it's time for the tree to come down. So we actually are just taking down the tree at the time that I'm recording this, right? Which is midway through January. And it feels like the right time. Like, it feels perfect. Right? I mean, some years we take it down earlier, some years we take it down later. We're immutable. We're a Virgo family. So we're a mutable energy. We want to kind of flow with the seasons. We don't have a rigid, everything must be down by January 1st. And there's no right or wrong. If that's your family, fantastic, right? You have a way to create that makes you feel good, that gives you security and safety, and we flow with the time frames, and that feels good and safe to us, right? And that's this flowy, mutable energy coming in, is that you don't have to be rigid, right? You can have what you want. You don't need to be friends with people who only think the way you do, right? You don't always need to be in groups where it's only people who think the way you do, right? Can there be compromise? Can there be other points of view that challenge you to either get really clear on why you believe what you believe, or maybe change your stance, right? There's an opportunity here for us to change our stance on things. So learning new things, realizing, oh, I never want to do it that way anymore, right? I want to do it this way now. And it doesn't mean that the person you were before was wrong. It just means when you know better, you do better. That's it, right? Be kind to yourself. When you know better, you do better. Be open to that. So this Sun trine to Mars is new opportunities, lots of energy, motivation, putting yourself out there, developing yourself. A great time to take a course because Mars is in Gemini and the Sun is in Aquarius. These are air signs: intellect, ideas, knowledge, inspiration, creativity, right? Doing something that advances your knowledge, using your knowledge and working it in your life. Like, please don't take another course and let that stuff sit on the shelf and go, oh, that was a nice course on money, but here I am going to spend all my money and sit in scarcity and lack, right? We want to heal our money trauma. We want to use manifestation. We want to use money coaching. We want to use all that information. If you read any books on it, use it and make your life better. Please don't let it just sit on in a booklet or on the shelf or in a drawer somewhere, right? This is about actioning the knowledge you have into the world. That's why I teach what I teach, because I really want it to be used in real time. That's why I give homework. That's why I give you tips and tricks on how to use this energy in your life. I'm about practical application. right? Knowledge is great, but it's not serving anybody. I mean, the spore cycle of a mushroom, interesting, unless you're cultivating mushrooms and you're understanding the mycelial network that connects all universes. Like, it's really cool. Right. Anyways, that's for another time. Now, Mercury trine to Uranus is the second aspect. Again, a trine, meaning a 120-degree aspect that is so harmonious. The energies are flowing wonderfully. So this is Mercury is in Capricorn, which is about our intellect, ideas, creating structures that are going to last the test of time, being focused, determined, getting things done, right? Mercury in Capricorn is purposeful. It is sure-footed. It will not make a choice or a decision without background information, being 100% clear and 100% yes on that. And then it's trine to Uranus. Uranus is about the great awakener. It is about your unique individuality. This is genius ideas coming to light. And in Taurus, this is about genius ways to make money, genius ways to heal your money story. This is genius ways to feel and live the life of like luxury and substance that you really desire, that feels aligned for you. And a luxury for you might not mean the luxury for me. And that's okay. But it's how does it define it for you, right? So money, Taurus, environment, Taurus, resources, Taurus. So how are you using your resources? So Mercury in Capricorn is about how are you now, what ideas are you using up? All the knowledge, all the things that you've gained in this time frame that now you're able to use it in a way that feels so good. Ingenious, in fact, thinking out of the box. Ingenious ideas, creating new plans to hold more money and abundance. Hell yes to that. Hello. Great time to implement new technology, new learnings that you've learned over the last 3 years. Now is the time. Put it into your life. You took a course on something during COVID. Now is the time to use it in your life. Make your life better by putting what you learned into action now. Your mind is open now for new opportunities and new possibilities, because you know what? If you are rigid and closed and you're thinking that I'm not lucky, this is not available to me, then opportunities will come by and you won't even see it because you're looking over here, right? There was actually a Harvard study done where they were testing luckiness, right? I love this study. And the Harvard study was, so they had, I think it was like 100, I can't remember, but they had a bunch of people come in as test subjects and they gave them a newspaper to go through. And in the newspaper, the students were looking for a specific pictures throughout the thing. They were counting all the pictures and they had to report back to the researcher how many pictures were in this newspaper. Now, throughout the newspaper, there was also a little thing that said, if you see this, take the newspaper directly to the researcher and you will get $100. You know how many people got them? Like 15%. And it was the same 15%, or the people who thought that they were lucky, because they pulled them before the research started and asked, do you feel lucky, or do you feel like you have to work hard for everything that comes to you? And the people who felt that they were lucky were more apt. Everyone who felt they were lucky saw this, because they were open to it, right? They weren't just like, I have to look at this because this is all I'm going to get credit for. They're like, oh, and there's opportunities that can come to me in other ways. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh my God, I'll see this thing, right? How many times have you overlooked something because you were only looking for something else, right? We do this. It's called the reticular activating system in your brain. The RAS system looks for proof that what you believe is true. So you see this often in a Tony Robbins conference where he'll say, okay, everybody close your eyes. Now, when you open your eyes, I want you to look for everything that's red in the room. And then you open your eyes, you look for everything that's red. And then you close your eyes and he goes, okay, tell me everything that you saw that was blue. And you're like, I wasn't looking for that, right? You see the RAS at work when you buy a new car. And you're like, oh my God, how many Hyundai Santa Fe's are there out there? I didn't know how many people drove Hyundai Santa Fe's until I bought one. And I was like, wow, everybody has one, because your RAS is now set to Hyundai Santa Fe, right? So if your RAS is set to, I am open for opportunities, I am lucky, and money flows easily to me, how many opportunities could flow to you? How many? That was totally channeled for somebody on here. So I hope that brings you joy and ease this week. This is a great week, a shorter week in terms of the astrology that is now, things are starting to happen. Things are starting to open up. And I really hope that you are open to possibilities. You are trying things differently and you are looking for excitement and joy, because that's what your RAS system will be cracked to, right? not sadness and overwhelm. We're done with that. We're done with that stuff, right? Now we want joy, abundance, ease. So wishing you a wonderful, financially abundant, joyfully, easefully, healthfully week ahead. And I will see you next week.